Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Thursday edition of Today in Sports Betting. We're doing it baseball style today with my partner, Scott Reichel. Scott, got a lot of day games today, so we're probably not going to, and I got a lot of early games as well. We're not going to concentrate too much on those. There is one early game that you and I want to take a look at here, and that is, of course, going to be that battle there in the NL Central as the Milwaukee Brewers come to town and take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Best fans in baseball, Scott. Did you know that?
I've heard that somewhere.
Ask any of them, they'll tell you.
Yeah, you think it's absolute nonsense. But
Oh,
all I know is that it's an early game, is in it's at 4 o'clock. So it's not the graveyard shift early at 1 a.m., at 1
right.
p.m., but it's going to be the middle afternoon.
Yep.
So by the time this airs, you should still have about 6 hours to get this in.
Oh, yeah, you should be fine. You got Mr. Burns going for the Milwaukee Brewers against Adam Wainwright. Somehow still has a major league career with the Cardinals. It wasn't good in his first game, Scott.
That's an understatement. He's got an ERA of 20.25.
Not good, as he absolutely got mauled as he faced Tyler Mahle of the Reds, but he got curb stomped, Scott. He lasted two and 2/3 innings, could not make it out of the third. 7 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned. Only walked 1, so that's good.
I think they were too busy hitting the ball to walk.
They really were, and they're too busy, and they were too busy hitting the ball to miss it as he struck out only 1.
Yep.
I thought Wainwright was in running on fumes last year,
and the back half he was.
That's what I'm saying. By the time the season was over, I thought he was running on fumes.
Yeah. First half of the year, I remember him actually being decent, but I remember
the
second half was fantastic.
But here's the thing: I think the fumes are gone.
You just think it's on E at this point?
I think it's on E. I think it's you're tapping, but it doesn't matter. It's over.
I'm kind of shocked the Cardinals haven't turned him into a full-time reliever at this point.
I agree. I agree. That would be a very Cardinals thing to do.
I figured they would try to have him like a Kerry Wood situation where you've been a starter for so long that at some point you're like, well, I feel like you'd be a decent like 8th or 9th inning guy. They just start throwing him in bullpen spots. I'm not as low in Wainwright as you are. Having said that, I think that he's the inferior starting pitcher in this game by a wide margin.
Yeah, Burns was absolutely let down by his offense there against Minnesota.
It's a phenomenal pitcher.
They were absolutely handcuffed by Barrios. He went 6 1/3, gave up 1 hit.
It was a home run. He had a no-hitter through 6.
Right. He gave up a home run with 1 out there in the 7th. They yanked him. He struck out 11, walked nobody. That's brutal, Scott. You got a 1.42 ERA. You have a WHIP of .158.
And your last name
158, and your
last name's not DeGrom. That's crazy. What? You're 0-1. Your last name's not DeGrom, and you have a sub-2 ERA. That's crazy.
If you ever need an illustration of why wins and losses mean absolutely nothing in the major leagues, there's a good example right there.
Yep.
So I think we're getting a pretty good price on Milwaukee in this game. I really do. I think I've got it -130.
Yeah, that's what I have it on. I see that some money's coming on St. Louis. Maybe they're expecting a bit of a bounce back spot after kind of. I hear would say a bounce back spot, but maybe they just are buying high on this team for beating the Marlins, which we might be able to do. So I don't know if that really means anything.
No.
But after Wainwright got shelled in his first start, I know Cincinnati's offense is better than Milwaukee's, but Burns is so good.
This game, 86% of the money right now is coming in on the Cardinals. And I know it's really early.
It's a home dog. So you're looking at the situation saying it's a division game. Wainwright's been around for an eternity. Let's take the plus money. They killed Miami. How are they not supposed to? No, I think Milwaukee's just actually a very good team.
Adam Wainwright, the crafty veteran.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
I like Burns. I think he's a very good pitcher. And if you look at how Milwaukee's been offensively, mediocre, which is kind of what they were last year. But Yelich actually looks a lot better, of course, than he did last year. I think last year was an anomaly. But Kane being back is a big deal. And this team, pitching-wise, you still have a phenomenal bullpen because you have Williams and you have Hader. So if you're up through 7, and assuming that Burns goes 7, I don't want to say that you can turn the lights off, but you're pretty close to turning the lights off.
Really, really close. Yeah. If Burns goes 7 in this game,
it's a wrap.
You're not going to have to worry about who's closing for St. Louis. I'll just give you that piece of it.
That's always how I feel about it. So I like the Brewers here.
I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. You want to set up the late game, because we got a pretty good game there. It should be a good game late, right?
It should be. Oakland actually won something. Shout out to the Dodgers for using Kenley Jansen again in the ninth inning for about the ninth straight year, even though it doesn't work.
How'd that go for him?
I blew the save. They lost in extras because it's Kenley Jansen, and I don't know how he's still closing games. I know Gratterall's injured, and I know that, you want to try to give some people – how is he still on the team?
I know.
We have to bring it up every time he blows a save.
I guarantee you they're sick about hearing because in fairness, we talked about it a lot before the season started.
We went through this in the World Series. He didn't even close Game 6 because he blew Game 4. How are you still throwing him out there?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
So the A's are now 1-6. So
25-1 Melvin to get fired right down the tubes.
The monkeys off their back, and now they get to go against one of the hottest teams in baseball, Scott.
Definitely up there. True, there's two teams in that division have been really good, and the Angels and the Astros. You can kind of call it a push between the two.
Good point. The Angels have been surprisingly good. But we've got Oakland and Houston. Houston is a favorite here, obviously, minus 160. And total in this one's going to be 9.5. You got Irvin going for Oakland against Christian Javier for the Houston Astros.
Now, I know we both like Javier. I know that he's still a little bit young and unproven, but we do think that he has a lot of potential.
Yes, absolutely. He's both these guys have made one start so far.
They were both not good, but Irvin was a lot worse.
Yeah, Javier got a no decision. He went he toiled, I guess, Scott. It would be the right word there. He went 3 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned, struck out 4, no walks, no home runs. So, that's fine. And he got a no decision. That was a game, of course, that was against Oakland, so they lost. But yeah, that was that's a outstanding performance compared to what young Master Cole Irvin did. He was also went up against the Houston Astros. And remember that stretch where the Astros were either scoring 8 or 9 runs in every game?
Yeah, he didn't fare too well.
That was one of those. He went and he actually probably should have given up more, Scott. He went 4 1/3, gave up 7 hits, 1 walk, and just 4 runs. So he certainly could have been even worse.
I guess that's the silver lining of this story.
Yes, that's the silver lining. So he ends up with a whip of 1.848, ERA of 8.31, and it could have been worse. So you see anything to like here? Any reason at all why this isn't an obvious pick for me? You like laying the run line because the A's are not scoring, averaging just 2.2 runs per game, giving up 8.3, brother, 8.3 runs per game.
I think that's tempting. I'm also kind of staring at Astros over 5.5 for the team total. It's at plus 116.
Yep.
Well, they're at home. They might not bat in the ninth. We've seen Irvin against this team. We know he's not very good.
Wasn't good.
We know that regardless of who's pitching for any team, Houston at the plate has just been magnificent up to this point. So 5.5 in Houston. I know that they probably are not going to need to bat in the ninth, but once again, if you're still not sold on Javier, which I don't blame you because I think he's good, but I don't think he's fully there yet. He has a lot of development.
No, he's going to be much better in 2 years. But
he's got a lot of developing he needs to do. So if you don't want to get involved with Javier, I understand that. But I mean, you're looking through the games that they played so far this season. Played 4 times. Astros have scored at least 8 runs in every game. Over 5.5 plus 116. I got to look at that.
Yeah, the bullpen for the A's has absolutely sucked. I know they did better yesterday, but before going into yesterday, there's 6.92 ERA with a 1.8 WHIP. I know that those numbers came down a little bit after yesterday, but still, most of those numbers were built against the Astros. So
I'm assuming we both agree there's going to be a ton of over money on this game.
I think there will be. I really do.
So I'll go with the team total 5.5. I know what I'm getting with the Astros, and this team consistently has just mashed. So
it's in Houston. It's not in Oakland. If it was a night game in Oakland,
those tend to die on the warning track a little bit.
I'd be a little wary of that total. But at 9.5, I think that's money. I think that'll be 10 before they throw the first pitch tomorrow.
Should be. So I like the over there for the Astros team total.
Well, and if that goes to 10, it's gonna be. They might even try to sneak it up on you. So,
well, I expect this to probably close at around like minus 105. Like, I don't think it'll be plus 116 by the time this game gets underway.
Okay.
I don't see any under money coming in on the Houston team total. This team has just killed people.
Can't imagine.
So that's
Can't
my
imagine.
that's my thoughts on it. But yeah, yeah. I mean, the rest of the card so far, just looking through the rest of the games, we can talk briefly about some day games. Baseball for me was kind of decent yesterday. I liked Flaherty minus 115. Miami still can't score. Team total unders are an absolute dream there. Our favorite bet in the entire world cashed again yesterday with Cleveland first 5 under, which was just another absolute treat. Unfortunately, they're officially going to score 0 runs for Thursday because they don't play, which is sad for all of us.
I like the Cleveland under again on Thursday.
Yep, but you're just looking through all the games here, and it's just a matter of the fact that some teams are starting to kind of piece together their identities, whether or not it's good offense, bad offense, or just good pitching. And some teams are as bad as advertised. Pittsburgh is as bad as advertised. I think that's officially true, especially with Cabrian Hayes on the IL.
Yep.
I woke up this morning, they were down like 7-0. Like, it was not pretty. Yeah, so there's some teams, kind of like the NBA, where you see some teams you want to fade automatically. I see the Cubs tomorrow at minus 135 taking on Pittsburgh. Does it really even matter who's pitching?
No.
Pittsburgh's just terrible. Like, Pittsburgh should be nowhere near like plus 115. They should be getting a minimum of plus 140 every game they play.
Yep, I agree.
So just keep that in mind. Looking at some lines, I know it didn't officially work out for Texas, for example. If you like Toronto yesterday, but some teams are just so bad, and the markets are trying to do their due diligence by giving them the benefit of the doubt, trying to keep some lines not insanely polarizing. Some teams deserve to be insanely polarized.
Agreed.
Pittsburgh's one of them because that team might not win 45 games.
Agreed.
So, yeah, that's just my brief rant on looking at some teams to automatically fade.
Very good. All right, bud. And as always, if you're looking for information on these games or any other games, don't forget to stop by. Check out winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives and predictions into every game every single day. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at Winners and Whiners, we're wishing you guys nothing but the best of luck. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting.